This is going to be an inoculated recession. I've been through many of these cycles. This one is unique. It's true that we have inflation and there's a lot of concern about a recession. I don't see any of that in the short term.
What's up, everybody? And today we're going to be talking and doing a reaction video to one of my favorite people, one of my favorite TV personalities, Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. If you don't know who he is, make sure you check out Shark Tank, one of the shows about entrepreneurs and a lot of guys. In fact, one of my favorite entrepreneurs out of the Shark Tank was actually the inventor of Ring. And if you remember Ring, that's the one deal that Mr. Wonderful passed on. Big mistake, right, Mr. Wonderful?
Okay, Jamie, it's that moment when I say you're dead to me.
In fact, the title of this video is I Am Not Worried About a Recession. So let's react to it and see what's going on.
If we are dealing with high inflation, first of all, do you think it sticks around? And if that's the case, where would you be looking?
I like to look for businesses that are growing their cash flows, have strong balance sheets, and are servicing the demand at the time. And, you know, it's true that we have inflation and there's a lot of concern about a recession. I don't see any of that in the short term. I mean, I'm living in the real world here with over 30 private companies in our portfolio in almost every geography in the US. Right now, things are booming. Sales are on fire. Cash flows are better than they've ever been. And I know we should be pessimistic, but I can't get there right now because I'm trying to hire people and I can't find them.
That is what we really need to be worried about. Like, it is so freaking hard right now to find quality people that actually want to work. We're looking for talented people every day. If you are looking to work on our team, work for our team, comment below, send us a DM on Instagram. But definitely, like what he points out right there is that is the biggest problem.
Try and find a server in Los Angeles for a kitchen operation. For minimum wage $15. I have to pay $25 in some cases just to get them to come to work. So there's a lot of demand at all levels for employment. So I'm not that worried about the classic recession. Energy prices, well, that was self-inflicted. We shouldn't have canceled pipelines. That was bad policy. It can be fixed.
Do you agree? Do you think that it was prudent for President Biden to cancel the pipeline and to skyrocket oil prices?
Supply chains will be fixed as well. So right now, if I were to buy stocks, which I am doing, because you can't time the market, Becky. Today's a good example. If you were not in the market today, you don't know which of the 20 or 30 days in the next 12 months give you all the returns. Today was one of them.
I think one of the things he just said that is super important is you cannot time the market. Whether you're in the stock market and you're investing for money, or whether you're in the real estate market and you're investing for money, you cannot time the market, but you can take advantage of market timing.
So trying to time the market in volatility is next to impossible. But let's take something like Service Corp. Now, maybe people don't know it, but it's probably the biggest funeral operator in America. Guess what? In recessions, people keep dying. Who knew? And their business is recession-proof.
That's a good thing to be talking about. If you're worried about a recession, you need to be in recession-proof businesses. I'm not advising you get into the funeral home business, but storage is recession-proof. Real estate is recession-proof. Not for like everything, but if you think about it, when people need houses, they need a place to live. And so if you have rental properties, then you're recession-proof because people need a place to live. That does not change.
You talked about food concerns. 80 supply chains, all kinds of specialized grains and oils all across America. Fantastic. Nestle in Switzerland, a European company in Swiss francs, you know this new act Biden just signed? It's all Nestle. All that stuff is coming from there. Nestle's supplying all the baby formula and the baby formula 2002 act or whatever he's calling it. Why not own that company when we're out of baby formula? These are big opportunities, Becky, all through the market that are going to perform very well regardless of inflation.
Pay attention to what government is signing the contracts for. When I was going through the airports, I looked at like ProScan. I looked up all these companies that were all the scanning machines. And I'm like, that is a government contract. That's not going away. This is a perfect segment to say, why would you worry about the economy? Why wouldn't you just invest in real estate? No matter what happens, time is on your side. Let's talk about this. I just had this conversation with one of my students this morning. My student was down $30,000. He was waiting for the market to correct itself. And I said, you know, rather than borrowing the money, if you're down $30,000 over here and you're waiting for it to go back up, and it could go more down, just take that money out. And if you're going to borrow hard money and that's going to cost you 15 grand, then actually you're only down 15 grand now because you've made up that money by not paying those loan costs. And now you're actually in control of your money versus waiting for the stock market to be in control of your money. So when you invest in a stock, you are competing with guys like Jeff Bezos, like Kevin O'Leary, who are insiders, and they have way more deals. They actually could buy shares for cheap. They could buy shares for nothing. These guys get free shares while you pay thousands of dollars. How are you competing on a level playing field? When they buy houses, they got to use the same dollars that you got to use. So they are competing on the same playing field that you are.
This is going to be an inoculated recession. It's already had a vaccine in so many ways. There's so much of the $4.5 trillion that was poured into this market still in the pockets of consumers, and they haven't had a chance to spend it yet because we have a disrupted supply chain. I've been through many of these cycles. This one is unique. And I'm not going to get too bearish, because if I went back to 2020 and looked at what happened in that year, that volatility, the 1,000-point days up and down, in a matter of 23 days, the entire returns were found. So if you're not in the market for those 23 days, and who knows how many will be in this cycle, you're not going to get any returns. So I'd argue to people, look, taking advantage of this correction, a Johnson & Johnson, a Pfizer, Google or Meta.
Let me stop right there. Stop investing your money in the stock market. If you're investing your money in the stock market, let's talk about all the things that you own. Do you have cash flow? Negative. You can't control what's going to happen. So if you're investing in the stocks and you're waiting for it to go up, or you're waiting for it to do whatever, you're still waiting. You don't have any control unless you're a huge manager, that you have proxies that you can then vote on choices and get rid of people, and you're an activist. But if you're just a regular Joe, you've got no say, and what goes up will come down and go up and come down, and you're just watching a graph and nothing's really happening.
These are companies that are still cash flowing, massive balance sheets. Technology is not going away. Look at Zoom today. Everybody thought, this corrected over 78%.
Now, I will tell you, if I was going to invest in anything, it would definitely be Zoom, even though I'm not advocating that you invest in anything. But if you are going to invest in stocks, definitely invest in stocks that have potential. And since COVID, Zoom has become the premier place to host your platform. And I would say that that's going to continue to grow. Johnson & Johnson, all these other companies, I don't know about them.
They're just paying less for them on a PE basis. And that's a gift the market's giving you right now.
Everything that they said on here on this video, we agree with. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not anything. I'm just a regular guy who invests in real estate. And I'll tell you something else. When I first started investing, I wanted to be rich. I started reading books like Peter Lynch's Learn to Earn, Security Analysis by Benjamin Graham, which is totally hard to understand. It's like reading the Bible backwards, right? And I read all these books, and I became a stock market investor. And I got lucky a few times, and I made a few bucks. But guess what? It's not the long-term plan. In fact, I was so irritated that I would outperform my stockbroker every single time through real estate. And I'm looking at it like, I've been investing in the stock market for 25 years, and I've got more time and energy into that. And I've made way more money in real estate. So I got all of my money out. I said 401k or not, I don't care. All the penalties. I want my mindset out of the stock market, and I'm only gambling in the stock market. I treat the stock market like the Las Vegas casinos. It's only money that I'm going to gamble. My advice with Mr. O'Leary, no offense, he's a great business owner. I'm glad he's bullish about the economy. I'm not so bullish. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're headed for a crash, or do you think things are going to get better? I'll tell you what I think. They're not getting better. They're only getting worse. And the more they ratchet up those interest rates, the more we're destined to have the economy crash. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.